Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm Miss Samia from Dروس channel. Welcome back to our lessons. Today, inshallah, we will discuss a new lesson on Unit 6 on Mega Goal 1. We begin our lesson today. So our lesson today on page 86 and 87 is talking about language in context. We begin our lesson today. Okay? So our lesson today is talking about language and context. This is the section B. Okay. So take my advice. This is the title of the Unit 6. Language in context. Read. Sorry for this mistake. Okay. We have 3 or 4 sections in our lesson today. The first one is a language in context. We will read about Ali stories, and after that we will take listening and pronunciation, and the last one is conversation. Let we begin our lesson today. Okay, section 1. So we have language in context. Read about Ali's lifestyle. Give an advice to deal with his stress using should, ought to, or had better. That's what we talking before about model auxiliaries. And we have some sentences. It helps us to answer the Ali's lifestyle. We begin that. Okay. They told us that Ali works 10 hours a day. Ali works 10 hours a day in the office. Okay, number 2, takes works to do at home on the weekend. Number 3, drinks a lot of coffee. Number 4, spends an hour and a half in traffic on his commute. Number 5, doesn't have time to exercise. And 6, rarely goes out with friends. Let me check how we should using model auxiliaries with that sentence. So number 1, when we want to using it, we should write he ought to work less. Why we using ought to? Because we are sure about that he is 10 hours a day in his work, in his office. So he ought to work less. This is number 1. Number 2, take work to do at home on the weekend. So when we using model auxiliaries, we should write he shouldn't work on weekends. So why we using he shouldn't work on weekends? Because already he takes work to do at home. Okay. Number 3, drinks a lot of coffee. What do you think about that one? We told that he ought not to drink a lot of coffee. He ought not to drink a lot of coffee. Number 5, spending an hour and a half in traffic on his commute. Yes, in his commute. So he should move closer to work. He should move closer to work. And number 5, doesn't have a time to exercise. Is it A? What we should answer? He had better start to exercise. He had better start to exercise. And the last one, rarely goes out with friends. The answer for it is rarely goes. He should go out with friends more. So if you notice here that we using pronouns with the model auxiliaries with. Okay. The last one is hasn't had a vacation in 2 years. He hasn't had a vacation. Vacation, it means holiday. So the answer for it is he had better take a vacation. He had better to take a vacation. Why? Because he haven't a vacation in 2 years. That is when we want to write about Ali lifestyle using model auxiliaries. Okay, let me check the next steps that. Okay, they give it to you. 3 teenagers are talking to Dr. Weiss about their problem. So there is 3 teenagers. Teenagers means young people, the age of between 12 and 18 or 20, wise about they talking to the doctor wise about their problems. Complete the chat. So we want to complete that chat after we hearing the dialogue or a conversation between them. Let we listen together.
Conversation 1. Now, Harvey, what seems to be the problem?
Well, doctor, whenever I look at myself in the mirror, I feel terrible. I'm putting on so much weight.
Do you ever work out? Do you exercise?
Not really. I spend a lot of time sitting at my desk playing games on my computer.
What kind of food do you eat?
I have the usual pizza, beef burgers, fries, mostly fast food, but I don't eat all that much.
It isn't just the quantity, it's the quality. You should change your diet and eat more salads, fruits, and vegetables. And you ought to take up a sport or do some other physical activity.
Can't you just prescribe some of those diet pills, doctor?
Okay, so Harvey talked about his problem that when he saw himself on a mirror, he found himself as a fat man. So he thinks that when he want to talk with Dr. Weiss, he want his advice for him, how be looking too. So the doctor give it to him a lot of advice, but before that, let me check Harvey problem. What is it? He is gaining weight. He is gaining weight. It means that he is becoming fat. Okay, what is the doctor's advice for him? He told him that he should change his diet and take up a sport or do some other physical activities. So he have two things that he should doing to losing his weight, that he should change his diet and take up a sport. After that, he do some other physical activity. That is about Harvey problems and the doctor advices for him. Let me check the next person, Adel.
Conversation 2. What can I do for you, Idel?
Doctor, I have a problem with my skin. Look at my arms and hands. They're really itchy, and I scratch all the time.
Have you talked to your parents about this? Have you used a different soap or something lately?
Actually, it was my parents who suggested I come and see you. No, I haven't used a different soap, and I know we haven't changed detergent, so I don't know what it is.
What have you been eating?
Meat and vegetables and some fruit. Fries, but I've always had fries. They've never done this to me. Oh, yes, cashew nuts. I eat loads of nuts because I do a lot of training for the football team, you know.
Well, Idel, I don't think you need to worry about anything as long as you stop eating nuts. Yes, I know they're really nutritious, but they don't seem to agree with you. And just to be on the safe side, I would advise you to stay away from all types of nuts and salty snacks.
So this is the conversation between Idel and Dr. Weiss. He have a problem that he have a scratching his skin and feeling something bad with him. Let me check what his problem exactly. He has a problem with his skin. That's what I discussed it before. And what is the doctor's advice? He advised him he should stop eating nuts. He should stop eating nuts because he mentioned on his conversation with Dr. Weiss that he eat a lot of cashew nuts because he is already with the football team. So he need a lot of energy to doing his sport. And the problem, the doctor advised him that to stop eating nuts. This is about the problem for Adil and Dr. Weiss advice. Let we hearing for the last person problem.
Conversation 3. So, Saeed, what's the matter with you?
I'm not sure. Every time I exercise or run, I feel really weak. The other day, I nearly fainted at school. And the strange thing is, I eat well and I watch what I eat. I try to avoid junk food. I don't eat any sugar. I don't use salt.
I've known you since you were a kid and you never had a problem. What made you give up salt and sugar completely? Did anyone encourage you to avoid them?
Well, actually, No, but I read some articles on the web, and they said that if you're a man, it's a good idea to be careful with food and to get regular exercise as prevention against high blood pressure.
Saeed, you're a young man. You've been strong and healthy since you were a baby. No wonder you've been feeling faint. You use up a lot of energy and you need calories, fuel for your system. Start with salt in your food. By the way, a little sugar won't hurt you, especially before or after practice. Your body needs it. The articles you read were probably addressed to older men, not teenagers like yourself. And don't believe everything you read, at least not yet.
So the last one is Saeed problem and Saeed problem with the doctor advice. Saeed problems is that he feeling weak even when he eat a healthy food. So this is the Saeed problem. He told us that he feels weak every time he exercises. What is the real reason for that when he feeling, why he is feeling weak? Let we check about the doctor's advice, what he told him. He told him that he should start having salt in his food again, because Saeed didn't put a salt or a sugar in his food, and he read that on a magazine or a newspaper, and he tried to follow that way, but the doctor advised him to put a little bit of salt on his food again. Okay, this is the this is the second point of our lesson today. Let we check what we have more. So the third one we have it today is pronunciation. Listen, note that the main stress in the second part of the 2 words or 3 words verb then practice. So put off.
Put off.
Put off. So
I put off my new diet.
Sorry. Put off, it means I put, the example for it is I put off my new diet. Put off, it means I began. Turn down, let's be hearing together.
Turn down. I don't want to turn down a friend who asks for help.
That's about turn down. Number 3, put up with.
Put up with. Ahmed has put up with the noise for a long time. Now he has had enough.
Yeah, now he's had enough. That is about listening how to pronunciate the 2 or 3 words together. Let me check in step B. Read the advice website again. Find 2 or 3 words of verb. Practice reading them aloud, putting the main stress of the second part. So you should go back to the previous passages. It's talking about the website, advice website, that what we began our lesson on unit 6. If you remember that healthy for you site, and you should collect all the information that using 2 words or 3 words verbs. Okay, let me check what we have more. Okay, now we finished the left side of our pages today. Let me check what we have on the right side. So on the right side, we have a conversation. We have a conversation and a lot of information under of it. Underline the 2 or 3 words, verbs. Practice reading the conversation with a partner, stressing the second part of 2 words and 3 words, verbs. This is the conversation between Hussein and Muhammad. Let me check what they have here. Are you ready to hearing? Yeah, good. Let me.
Hey, Muhammad, you look upset. What's the matter?
I'm feeling down. It's all these exams coming up. There's so much pressure and everyone's calling me all the time to ask about this or that. When I'm out, they're constantly calling me on my cell phone to ask for help. If I say I can't speak, they want to know what time I will be available and where I will be so they can come over or call again. Why don't they call someone else?
You ought to talk to them and explain that they can't expect you to be free to help everyone all the time. You have work to do as well.
I tried talking to them, but they say I'm being selfish and looking out for myself and nobody else.
They probably think you don't need to study. You know it all anyway.
Seriously? Of course I need to study. I don't remember everything we've done. Do you get calls from classmates?
Sure. They're pretty nervous about calling you, so they call me first to find out what kind of mood you're in. To be honest, I would be really happy if you talked to them. I don't know what to say to them anymore.
So this dialogue between Hussein and Muhammad, and they're talking about what is the matter of them. They feeling down, and this is they talking about exam that's coming up, and what's the pressure that they feeling at that time. Okay, now we want to discuss what we have about real talk inside the passages. We have three things that feeling down. If you're going back up, we found that what is the matter? Muhammad answer, I'm feeling down. What's the meaning of feeling down? So feeling down here, it means feeling depressed. Feeling depressed. Okay? And the second one also we have that look out for myself. Look out for myself. Let we searching it. Where is it on that passage? Okay. If you read it carefully, you can find it. Explain, I accept free to help everyone at the time you have work as well as I try to talking to them, but I'm being selfish. I'm looking out for myself. So if you we found it on Muhammad speech and looking out for myself. What the meaning for looking out for myself and nobody else? That means think only about yourself and no one care about other people. That's the meaning of it. The last one is to be honest. To be honest. What do you think about that word means? That sentence means? It means to an expression used to make a statement stronger. Okay? This is about our conversation today. Let me check the next step, what we have. Okay, let's we go up. Conversation. We have some question as what we talking before. Some question we should answer it after any conversation on your curriculum. So number one, what is Muhammad's problem with his classmates? What do you think? Muhammad's classmates keep calling him to ask a question or ask him to help him prepare for the exam. This is his problem. Number two, what advice does Hussein give him? What do you think his advice? He said that Muhammad ought to talk to their classmates and explain that he has to work or study as well as so they can't expect him to be free all the time. Number three, why does Hussein think their classmates keep on calling Muhammad? Why? Let me check the reason. They think Muhammad knows everything and doesn't need time to study. So number four, why do the other students call Hussein? Why? To find out what kind of mood Muhammad is in before they call him. And the last question, how does Hussein feel and what does he want Muhammad to do? Okay, he is fed up with people calling him and has run out of things to say. And what does he want? He wants Muhammad to talk to their classmates and explain that he needs time to prepare before the exam as well. Okay, so this is what we have on lesson today. That I will make a quick revision. Number one, a language in context. 2, listening. 3, pronunciation. After that, we talk a conversation. Thank you again for being with us on Ain channel and see you later. Thank you.